this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to week 21 of using up scraps. And this week all I did was just do some fussy cutting. So I made some tags. I fussy cut out these tags from, I had printed out two different digital kits actually, and they were printed on, I should have had a solid side and then a side that had the tags, but instead I printed both these sets back to back, and so I had to pick and choose which ones I was going to cut out so it would look right. So long story short, I just fussy cut them out and then added them to some solid color, just some white paper, and this is what they look like. And then I stamped on the back of some of them. Some of them I added to white paper and some of them I added to beige paper. And I did some stamping on the back. And this particular kit, it comes with an additional cutout of the floral elements that you can make it like 3D or whatever. And technically you could put this on this front side, but I just decided I would just put it on the back since it had a solid backdrop and it needed something with it. And so yeah, that's what these look like. Just use some oxide ink, distress oxide ink, some browns and blues and blacks, but I left these solid. I left these tags solid because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I might make them into like elements or something, so I just kind of left those plain. And then I did the same thing with this one. I just added it to some white cardstock and did some stamping. And then I just fussy cut out these little images. A lot of these are from the Graphic 45 Communique collection. So I've got like this vintage telephone and this little vintage, I think it's like a record player or something. I forgot what you call those things. So we've got that. And then these women are from A Lady's Diary. I just fussy cut them out. And I went over them with some black ink. And then I glued the women to some black cardstock and cut it out again, just to kind of give it some shadows. So that's what those look like. And here's just the extra flower that came from this little floral kit that's on my Etsy shop. And then I just cut out some sentiments, some words and sentiments from different papers and stuff, scrap papers. Some of these, like this one right here, was from the Graphic 45. It was from the cover of the pad, the scrapbook pad that I'd gotten. And those papers are usually pretty thick, so I decided to keep it and just cut little bits and pieces of words out of it to still use. And I just added most of the words to like black cardstock or whatever. And then I fussy cut out these little images. These are like ink pens, the vintage pens, and then here's like a little vintage pocket watch. And I just cut them out, went around the edges with some ballpoint pen, and added some glossy accents to them just to kind of give it a little shine. And you can add these to like journals and folios and different things like that, just to kind of make it pop. Like if I were to put, let's see, like this pen in here would kind of accent it, and I could use it as like a tuck spot or something, you know. It's just an example of what you can do. You know, just like right here, I could put this here, for example, stick one of these tags in there, you know, like this one right here, for example. And, you know, just have like a little side tuck spot or whatever. Maybe add this little phone, whatever, to something. But, you know, just get creative. So let me just show you my little process of fussy cut. It's pretty self-explanatory because I'm pretty sure you guys have already been doing some fussy cutting and stuff. So, yeah, let me just show you how I did this. And today I'm just going to do some fussy cutting, and just to have some stuff ready for journals and cards and whatever, tags and stuff like that. So I've already cut out some little images from different pieces of paper, and so I'm going to cut out some words and sentiments, some photos, and just different things. And they come from several different scraps of collections of papers, from Graphic 45 to some of my digital prints. And I consider these scraps when I had printed out some of my papers or kits, and I printed them double-sided, but where I messed up at was I accidentally I should have had like a solid color and then the tags or whatever, but I didn't do that. So I'm just going to kind of cut out some from both where I messed up twice. I shouldn't have did two different type tags back to back. So I'll just cut out some from each, and then some sentiments and just different things like that. So starting with this one, since this is Graphic 45 sentiments, I'm just going to cut out August. With this summertime coming up, I like to just go ahead and, you know, just get some stuff done. Get some words and sentiments so I can have it ready for my journals and cards and collages and whatever different events that might take place this coming summer. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be summer related. It could be a different theme. So I think I'll just go ahead and cut out some, just various ones of these sentiments. Maybe not all of them, but just some, just to have. And then the color schemes might go with some of my stuff that I'm working with anyway. So I'll just go ahead and get those. And typically with my sentiments, I usually, when I cut them out, I always distress them, and then I'll put them on like an extra, like solid color backdrop. So I'll probably put them on, that one I might put on a white backdrop. This one I might put on either brown or black. And, you know, a contrasting color is typically how I do my sentiments. I like to have some of those already available when I'm making my stuff. Sometimes I'll make them ahead of time, my elements and stuff that I'm using in my journals, and then sometimes I just make them as I go along, because I don't really know what my color scheme is going to be sometimes when I'm crafting. I just kind of go with the flow. So I'm going to cut a few of these out and distress them, and then glue them to some solid color cardstock. Now the scissors that I typically use are, I use these Kai embroidery scissors. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I learned about these from Anna's Paper Creation, Xanaro, a few years ago when I was watching some of her videos. And I still visit her channel, but I don't think she's made videos in a while. I'm not real sure the background story on her and why she hasn't made any videos or anything. But she has really been a huge inspiration on some of the things that I've learned how to do, the techniques and tools that are used and things like that. Because she's the one who showed me about, well, I learned from her a lot about fussy cutting and how to hold the paper and move the paper instead of the scissors, that type of deal, you know, and how to get into the nitty-gritty, like the hard to reach areas of stuff using like these type scissors. But I mean, you don't have to use these Kai scissors, you can use whatever type that you like. But I found, as well as how she felt about cutting really intricate cuts, you need some scissors that can reach like really small areas and get like a clean cut from it. I mean, I'm not perfect, so I'm still working on my skills, but these scissors are great for those hard to reach areas. Whereas some of the bigger scissors I have, I can't get a good clean cut without like damaging the paper or the image. So this is why I use these Kai embroidery scissors. And it doesn't have to be this brand. You can use any kind of embroidery scissors, any kind of small scissors. You know, I'm pretty sure the Tim Holtz scissors probably work too. I don't know. I don't have any of those. But I haven't had any troubles out of these scissors. These are my go-to. I love these little things. So that's why I use them most of the time. But yeah, fussy cutting, it is kind of time consuming, and when I first started doing it, I was like, ain't nobody got time to do this, you know. But the end result is, to me, it's really worth it, you know, if you have the patience and you don't mind it. And at first I wasn't good at it, and so I was just like, I'm not doing this. This is like, no, I'll just buy some stuff that's already die cut and call it a day. But there's so many beautiful images that you can get, you know, like her. She was fussy cut out. You know, this image of this ink pen, this all of these little things were fussy cut out, and they were part of obviously a bigger image. But I like it. I like those. And do you guys do fussy cutting, or how do you guys craft whenever you get your images and stuff? Do you buy die cut stuff, or do you just do a combination of both, or do you get digital prints that you can print out and die cut? Because I know there are some companies, including my store, I have some images that you can use on a Cricut device or Silhouette, or you know, SVG, something that takes SVG files and stuff. But I like to do fussy cutting because you can't always find the images that you like available already fussy cut out or already die cut out or whatever. So I like to use a combination of fussy cutting, die cutting, all that, you know. But this is kind of time consuming, but it's totally worth it in the end. And then I always back mine up on solid color cardstock and then cut it back out again. So yeah, I like to know what you guys do. How do you prepare your journals and your cards and all of your crafts? Do you go ahead and cut stuff in advance, or do you do it as you go along, or how do you do it, or both? I know I do mine both, because sometimes it's hard to know like what color theme. Like I'll have something in mind, like it might be a journal or whatever, and I'll say I want it to be pink and I don't know, black and brown or whatever. And so I'll think to myself, okay, well, I know I need these color papers, I know I need these maybe this color fabric or this color envelopes, tags, and whatever. But then when it comes to like my smaller images, like my flowers or, you know, other stuff, like smaller things, I'm like, you know, embellishments, sometimes the color that I have in mind is not the color of what's already available. So sometimes I'll have some stuff already cut out, and sometimes it's not already cut out, and then I'll just have to go make some more. Even though I thought I was getting ahead of the game, kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm already cutting out these tags and things, but I know I can use them in something. But some of my journals and some of my folios and things like that, I like to have a color scheme, and if it doesn't work out, I just cut some more. That's just how I craft. How do you guys craft? Are you all particular, or, you know, just like whatever? I'm kind of particular, I guess, to a certain degree. But then I do kind of like odd color things sometimes in my crafts. So I like different stuff, different times, different things, different moods, different days. Yeah, and I like to have different sizes and different shapes of stuff. I like my square stuff, my round stuff, and like in this case, these like ornamental shape things. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of this. I might make a tag or something, I don't know. Or I could make like a little mini notebook. I don't know. I just like to have options, and I like to have stuff already ready in case I just like to have it ready. So, different colors, different themes, all of that. And see how right here, even though part of this tag was cut out from this back side, I can still keep that flower. I can use it over top of, I don't know, maybe over top of this right here, who knows. But it can still be used for something, or just as a flower in general. I don't like to waste stuff. I like to be able to use something out of nothing, or make something out of nothing, actually. Okay, so this right here is the leftover piece of some Graphic 45 packaging that I had from a long time ago. I got this for $5.99 and it was originally $22. It was a 12 by 12 paper pack of the Graphic 45 typography collection, but that's been years ago. But I kept, as you can see, I kept the cover of it because the quality of the paper on a lot of the paper packaging is thick cardstock. So you could just cut out some stuff like this T. That's really neat. I might cut that out. I don't know. Let's see. So this is from where the packaging was, the part that hangs up on the pole or whatever. I don't know. I might be able to get that out. But definitely I can get like this stamp, and I can get write your story, things like that, you know. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and cut out. And then the options are just plentiful right here with these ladies. Some I've used before on other projects. I think I'm going to cut her out. I'm not going to cut them all out, just some. Okay. And I like these images of these pins, so I guess I'll cut out a few of them. I don't know, I might not cut them all out. I might just cut one or two. So I think that's all I'll do for now. And then I'm just gonna, now I'm gonna distress some of these edges. I'm gonna take some of this chalk. Let's see, Color Box chalk paint, not paint, but archival ink. Chestnut Roan, or Roan, or however you pronounce that. And I'm just gonna go around these edges just to distress them. And I do that because whenever I trim it, it'll leave like a white kind of film around the edge, and I don't want that, so I just do that to cover up where I cut it at. And when I get tags like this, I'll probably just take my hole punch and just punch that out. But I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm just going to wait until well, yeah, I have to glue this to the back of something because all of these need some type of solid backdrop. But I still like to go ahead and distress the edges before I glue them to something. Okay, so now that I've gotten some of these already cut out, I'm just going to go over some of these with a ballpoint pen. I'm just kind of go around the edges of some of them. Not all of it, but just to kind of highlight some of the key areas on here. And you can use any kind of pen, ballpoint, whatever you have available, you know. And I'm just going to come in, like I said, just kind of go around the edge. I'm going to put this down and then zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding shadows to it around the edge. And then I'm just going to come back through with an alcohol marker. And then go around the edges. And this is just going to knock off some of the white that's on it, or beige, or whatever the color is from where I cut it out. It helps to blend in the item to make it look natural. This little graphic. Okay, so I'm going to do that to a lot of these. I'm just going to add, and go around the edges, you know, make them darker, make the edges darker. And then I'm just going to take the ballpoint pen, and then I'm just going to highlight key areas just to kind of make it pop. And then I'm going to glue this to some black cardstock. Okay, so now that I have all of these glued on here on different pieces of paper, they're all going to have solid backdrops. So now what I'm going to do is, for some of these items or elements, I'm going to cut one of these out. So let me just go ahead and do that. I'm going to embellish it a little bit more, so now not only is it thick and sturdy to become like a little tuck spot for something in a journal or whatever, but I'm going to add some more accents to it. I'm going to add some glossy accents to it to make it shine just a little bit in certain areas of it. And I'm going to do that to this, and I'm probably going to add it to some of these other embellishments once I cut them out. But to start out with, I'm just going to take some glossy accents, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm getting ready to do. And basically, on certain parts of this pen, it's going to shine. So I'm just going to take some of this glossy accents. Let me plop it open because it's not coming out good. On just different little portions of it, it's going to be shiny. And I'll just kind of zoom in so you can kind of see. So once it dries, it'll have that shine to it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these out, and I'm going to add some glossy accents to the clock. I may leave this one bare, I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to cut all these elements out, add the glossy accents so it can dry, and I'm going to show you what we've got. Okay, so most of these are cut out and distressed, and then I've still got this one right here, and I'm just going to punch the hole. I'm going to use the large hole punch. I'm going to have to cut it a few times because it's so big. I want to cut all parts of the hole out. That's the good thing about this being a complete circle, is you can punch it multiple times to get a complete circle. Whereas those other ones that I had, you had to like fussy cut them out. And with the way this is looking, I might have to finish fussy cutting that out too. Which is fine, because that's what this title is fussy cutting. So I'll just go ahead and try to finish getting that. I'm not that good at it, but I'm just going to take my marker. I'm just going to use the broad end and just kind of go around that little area that I just cut out. Ah, look there, I messed up. I'm just going to kind of go around this. And I meant to distress it first. I'm going to come around the edges on both the front and the back of this tag. And then after I get that, I'm just going to come around with the marker again to make it more pronounced. I'm just messing up. Look at that. It's okay though. That's the good thing about these, or I can stamp it, and that's probably what I want to do with most of these that have like a white background. I'm probably just going to stamp some images on there, and then add them and just let them become journaling spots or whatever. So now my little pens with a glossy accent, they're still drying, but you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. I'm gonna let them finish drying. So yeah, let me go get some stamps, and I'm only gonna stamp the backs of these white ones, but the ones that have like the beige backdrop, I think I'm gonna leave those solid. But this is what they look like so far. And the reason why I turned them into solid, definitely the tag, I added a solid background. The reason why I did that is because if I don't make tags, I still might make these into embellishments or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, so we're still going to see. But at least those are done as far as when you fussy cut. So I've got some words, and I've got these little fussy cut out ladies. And I think that by fussy cutting them out and going over them with some ink and adding them to some black cardstock, it really helps like bring them out. Like, instead of just leaving them like with the white edges or whatever, I think shading it in really kind of helps it. It makes it more pronounced. Same way with these, with this little vintage phone and vintage record player, whatever that thing's called, xylophone. I don't know what it's called. Whatever it is. Yeah, little vintage tools and things. So for some of these little flowers, I am going to stamp the backs of some of them, but the whole purpose in these that I cut out that came from this set is to put them over top each other. So like for this, for example, this right here, I could put this pink over top of here because that's what it was made to do. The same way I could put this pink over top of this. However, I think I'm just going to add it to the back because I think the back needs something. It's kind of bare. So I think I'll just add this to the back of here, just to kind of give it some, since it's two-sided, double-sided, I think that's what I'll do, is add this to it. And this little thing, we'll see. But I'm going to stamp these first, the ones with the white backdrop. So this I ordered from, I think it's May Made It, or May Craft, something on Etsy. I have to look it up. But these have like ledger and vintage script stamps and stuff on them. So I'm just going to randomly stamp and I'm just going to take the leftover image and just stamp it until I can't stamp it anymore, or until it doesn't show anymore. And then I'm going to take, let's see, I have this map. This is High Stamp Hooray. Got this at Hobby Lobby. But it's made by American Crafts. Let's see here. I'm just going to dip it into some blue. I'm going to use some broken china, distress oxide, and I'm just going to barely stamp it. in different places and just stamp images on there. And I think that's good enough. And then I think I'll take, let's see, I'll take this little itty bitty script, and I will use the stamping block for that. And I'm gonna use some brown. And just stamp on it. And I think that's good enough. It's enough just to give it a little bit of kick. I don't know if you can see that or not, but here, let me zoom in so you can. So yeah, these are the different ones. And like I said, I'm just going to let these dry some, but you can still look and see what we've got so far. See how it leaves like a shine? And then here's the little watch, like pocket watch or whatever. So that's basically it. We have the little cutout women. We have some text. We have, now these were just cutouts, but I didn't add these back to, I didn't back these onto any other color cardstock because I like the print that's on the back of it. And then we've got, of course, you know, our tags, our double-sided tags. Oh yeah, I was supposed to add these little embellishments. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add this on here. And this is going to give it a little bit of character. Let's see if I can turn it the right way. I'm not sure exactly how it goes, so I might just randomly put it on here any kind of way. I don't know. I'm just going to put it here. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that's going to work. So there's that one. And then for this one, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to add this one here. I'm just going to pop it on some kind of way. I'm not real sure. I'm trying to line it up according to the shapes, but I don't know if I'm going to succeed at that or not. I think that'll work. That's pretty close. And that's basically it. I hope I didn't mess that up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you'll do some fussy cutting or try to do it the same way I do it. I don't know. But this is just basically showing you how I do mine. And you can just add some of these little elements to different things. But yeah, this is how I fussy cut. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel and leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you have any ideas of how I can improve or whatever, that's cool too. Or if you like to see something, just let me know. And check out my other videos, my blog, my social media sites. And as always, thank you so much for watching.